The 1960s weren't just about drugs and orgies, but let's be honest, those were the highlights. The 1960s were also about getting involved in politics. Americans cared what was going on in the country and had an impact, which scared the poop out of the responsible men, as they called themselves, when they weren't busy with their own responsible orgies. So in 1973, David Rockefeller founded the Trilateral Commission, and their first job was to figure out why the elites were losing control of the country. Luckily, thanks to their days of orgy training, they were able to get to the bottom of it. They found that there was an excess of democracy. That's right. Sounds counterintuitive for a democracy to have an excess of democracy. Sounds like Glenn Beck having an excess of half-baked lunacy trickling down his chin into a goblet made from a forefather's skull he bought on eBay. Not to get too detailed with it, but nope. These responsible men found that they needed to go back to the days when Truman could govern with the cooperation of a small number of Wall Street lawyers and bankers. They said one of the catalysts to this overflow of democracy was the failure of the institutions responsible for indoctrinating the young. Essentially, the kiddies had not been taught to be sheep well enough. And if sheep don't know they're sheep, then they may try to be a wolf, and then they may bite the rich, and the holier-than-thou masters of the universe did not like that. So they did something about it, which was this crisis of democracy, they called it, which detailed ways in which to push the public back to the good old days of passive obedience to the rulers. And guess what? It's taken a little while, but it worked!